All right, first, again, I'll echo what Colin did, and thank you all for coming today on a short notice and a turnaround, because we've got a lot of construction going on, and we had one date set, and we had to swap it out a little bit to make sure that we could do what we needed to do. But I'll start off with saying this before I get on our football team. I think we've had great success over the years here, and a direct result of success is the people that surround your program. And I think what you see, our players and the students that you'll see today are, they represent UNI and the faces of UNI and the UNI football team. But I think today you can visually see what the support and all the others, the administration, the supporters of our program, the friends of our program, you're getting a visual look at what transpired over years of effort by a lot of people and a lot of work to get to this level. This will be the first time, of course, we started with the locker room downstairs, and the facilities have grown into the new facility on this north end zone. Will now be complete for this season. And one of the key things for us will be the locker room, the weight room for our student athletes this year that will be completed late next week. And then as well as the turf that you see here that ended up on the floor for this season. I mean, I think this is a visual of the support and the thank you that we have to send out to all those people, because I did not expect to have turf for this season, nor in my lifetime here. And just to see this transpire, and because of the community effort, the Gaming Association, we have to really be thankful for that, because there is an impact here to the community. There's an impact to our school of what transpires through athletics at UNI. And by doing so with some of these projects, I think you see that. The weight room. The weight room has to be mentioned because this will be the first season ever at the University of Northern Iowa that there will be an athletic weight room. Many universities, of course, have an athletic and a student body one. Over all the years, we've had a student body one that was shared by the athletics, and it was a combination of partnership. Well, through that over time and over the years and the support now this will be the first time that we actually have our own room. And what that means is a better source for academics that our student athletes can get to class when they need to get to class and still get their weight programs in and their training with us. So all those things do make a huge difference. So it is a direct result of the support, of the success that we've had. And I'd be really remiss if I didn't thank all those people for doing so. With this football team, there's a lot of things going on with this football team. You start with the senior class. I believe in one, and Colin, you can correct me, but I believe this senior class is 31-8 over the years that they've been here. Whether they've played in those seasons or not, but the time that they spend here from redshirt on, they're a 31-8 football team. And there's not many teams that have had the success, wins and losses wise, that they've had. At the same time, we've got a lot of young players on this football team. This is a young football team. The seniors have the experience, yet there's a lot of youth that will play this season that will come up in names that you may not know and that you're going to find out about as this season unfolds. So those are all things that lie ahead for us. But I'll start with the defense. A review on the defense going into this season. Right now I think it's going to be the defensive line that will be the structure that will build the defense on. You've got James Ruffin is playing defensive end, of course, and has had great success there, and we expect more of the same from him this season. I think Wes Lane and Chuck Kinney are two exceptional defensive tackles. They have worked hard to position themselves for this season. And Wes in particular from Waterloo West, who walked on here originally, I think is as good a defensive tackle that we've ever had here. So, you kind of see somebody that's taken the resources that we've had and taken advantage of him to become the player that he is today. So we're pretty fortunate that way. The other defensive end is where you're going to find a new person. We've lost some guys over the years at that left defensive end, and the ones that will contend for it, I think, are Darren Branch, who came to us in the spring. He was in our spring ball. Henry Obie is a junior college transfer that just arrived here the other day. We have Kyle Bennett from Sioux City, who is challenging for the position. And as of today, Ben Boothby is the starter, and he came through Clinton. And that position will roll a little bit, and that'll take place of who moves inside, who stays outside, but it'll start with the three, and then we'll alternate from there with what transpires through camp. Working inside the linebacker core, I think, is very talented. We've built that over years, and I think we've got it to a level now that we can start to see some results from that type of talent that we've been trying to find here. Josh Mahoney will be a leader on our defense. Josh is very smart individual, and he's a great leader, is what he is. And he understands the game, he understands his position, and he understands how to work with people and get people to work for him. And that's why he'll be a key factor in that defense. He'll be surrounded by guys like Jamar Thomas, L.J. Fort, two other linebackers. We picked up Elijah Hodge, who played for the University of Wisconsin. He just arrived here the other day and is competing for a position. And then James Conley has also stepped up, a freshman in our program, a redshirt freshman that is starting to take shape and playing the nickel position for us. So we feel like we have some athletes at linebackers and things, and we're still trying to see how that's going to unfold and how we can use their talent best in our defense. In the secondary will be tested often, I'm sure. Our two safeties will be new. In fact, the entire secondary will be new. Quentin Scott will be our starting free safety for us, and I think that he will be a key player. He's about a 6'5", 215-pound individual that is bigger than some of the guys that are up front that are playing free safety for us. And then we're still looking for his combination of people we'll play with. At the corners is where there'll be real youth. There'll be freshmen playing at corner. True freshmen that just arrived that will be contending will be J.J. Swain and Varmasoni from Minneapolis. And then on the other side will end up being Terrell McBride from Cedar Rapids Jeff and Andre Martin from St. Louis. Those are four freshmen. Two of them are redshirt freshmen, two of them are true freshmen. And between those four, they will be the ones that will alternate at the corner position for us. In the kicking game, I think the kicking game, there's only two kickers that we brought into camp as of right now. Billy Hallgren is returning from last season as our place kicker, as well as Kyle Bernard is a freshman that we brought in as far as our punting for this camp. That'll all take shape. Whether they're the starters at the end of this, who knows, but right now we do know the abilities of Billy and are confident in his abilities. We're still taking shape of what will happen at the punting phase of our game. On offense, start again with the offensive line. There are 5 seniors right now that will be listed as the starters in the offensive line. And I think Austin Howard is one of those people that you will see there that's been in our program, has been moved from tight end to tackle, but is an extremely good player. Beside him at the guard is Nate Harry out of Clinton. He was actually a defensive tackle last year at this time that has been converted into an offensive lineman. Austin Steichen is our center. And then Jason Fiacco is the right guard. And then Jordan Limbaugh right now, who got injured last season, is back again this season, and Jordan Limbaugh right now is the right tackle. Behind that, we've got some youth and some guys that will play a lot and still challenging for starting positions. Jay Tepley's already played for us, along with Evan Tecklenburg. I mean, those guys have played downs for us. And then we've got a couple young freshmen who are 6'8", 6'7", about 300 pounds that are still working into it that are redshirt freshmen. So there's still some battles going on there, but ultimately that experience can't be replaced, and that's why you have the 5 seniors there that you have. At the receiver corps, feel very good about the receiver corps because they've been tested. They had an opportunity to play a lot last year. Jared Herring, I think, is a very good football player. DJ Hort is back for his senior season, and Josh Collins are the 3 key players in that group. And then we've got some youth that we can put in there and challenge, and there'll be many that get in there and play. But those 3, I think, will be 3 very good football players that will get most of those plays at receiver. And tight end, I think the tight end position, Ryan Mahaffey and Skylar Orr. Those will be our 2 tight ends, both exceptional athletes. Ryan is an excellent blocker. He'll be a fullback tight end type person, and we all know Skylar. He's a big, strong tight end for us now. And then at the quarterback position, I think that's probably the most obvious position, is that Pat Grace will be our starter, Zach Davis will be the backup, and then Caleb Walter will be the 3rd quarterback. So we feel good about where we're at right now, but in all context, this will be our 5th practice today, and we go into a full 2-a-day system tomorrow where we start actually having 2 practices. So a lot to be told, but I think we've got a lot resolved already of who the players are and where to have them and where to play them, and start teaching that position. But before I even open up for questions, once again, the faces of our program right now is what you're going to deal with. But truly, why we're having such success, the success we've had here is really, our administration has been awesome through backing and supporting this, because this is years of work that's behind this, things that you never see And this is the one opportunity that you've actually seen some people that work hard behind the scenes that have came to light and see that the structure and the building we're on now, the weight room, a lot of supporters, a lot of people, administration, fighting a lot of battles along the way to make this all come to fruition, and for us to have this opportunity to have these resources. This is a lucky team. Those freshmen are lucky to have the resources they have right now as they grow through our program, because the future UNI football, I think, is very bright because of the resources. And I think this football team is a very good football team for this season. And we'll all find out together how that unfolds. So, any questions?